guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited as always to film this video because I'm going to be trying out the whole entire P.Louise Dishing the Dirt Meal Deal collection. So if you haven't seen my last video, I did do a whole unboxing and swatches and reveal kind of thing of this collection, and today the day has come to put it all on my face. Before we begin, I'm just going to give you a recap. We've got this sandwich here which comes with 4 palettes. We have a crisp packet which comes with one of her coloured bases, and the cutest thing is this coffee cup which comes with her new brow duo, and I got the shade Hazelnut Latte. So I just want to take a second to appreciate my nails. They are from Primark. They were like €5 and they're just stick-on nails. Obviously they're not as durable as say acrylics or gel nails, but I think they are so cute and I need to pick up some more because Primark had so many different designs. So yeah, I'm obsessed. So I'm going to stop rambling and we are going to get straight on into the video. As always, I'm going to start by priming my eyelids using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I want to get the P.Louise base, the original one, because that's supposed to be a super full coverage eyeshadow primer, but I didn't pick that up. Now first, obviously we're going to try out this whole sandwich collection here. So just to recap again, we've got 4 different palettes. Oh, so pretty. First palette looks like this, so we've got all the darker matte shades, and I did get a comment on my last video when I did the unboxing, and a girl actually explained to me that the shades are very similar in all of these palettes and they go from dark to light, and basically the reason behind that is that P.Louise usually starts with a dark shade, then blends it out with a lighter one, then blends it out again with another lighter one, and then packs a shimmer on the lid or wherever she wants the shimmer. And that is how the makeup artists are taught to apply eyeshadow at the P.Louise Makeup Academy. So that is why all the shades are very similar. They're all made to work together and like to make blending much easier. Also in my unboxing, I didn't realize that this is supposed to be the cheese layer. So that's kind of cute. So here is the second one, so similar to the first one but with the lighter shades. And then we've got the salad layer, which again I didn't realise that this packaging was meant to be the salad part. And this one is super cute because you've got some pastel shades. And then the last layer is the Shimmer Palette, which looks like this. So we are going to attempt to apply some eyeshadow like P.Louise would, and we're going to try and make her proud. I think I'm going to do 2 different eyes so that we can use as many shades as possible. This one I'm going to do something more on the blue side, and then on this side maybe something more on the warm toned orangey and yellow side. Taking the You're Just Getting Started Babe palette, and I think I'm going to start with this middle shade here. This one is called Indulge. I'm taking that on my Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer, which is a blending brush, and I think I'm going to do it on this eye, and I'm just going to pack that onto the lid. So straight away I do notice that the shadows are quite powdery and you get quite a lot of kickback in the pan. That doesn't really bother me just because most pigmented eyeshadows do have some kickback. I think I'm going to create a winged out shape, so I'm just going to create this outer V so we have the kind of structure. This shade is very nice. It's not super pigmented as soon as you put it onto the eyes, but it doesn't look at all patchy, and it's actually blending out really nicely. No patchiness yet. We're gonna do this sandwich kind of thing. I should have probably started with the darkest shade, but I'm gonna go in with that one now. So that's this dark blue shade here, which is called Delicious, and I'm gonna actually take that on my flat brush and just pack that underneath where I placed that first shade in the crease. When I did swatch these, they were more on the dry side. They weren't very creamy. Oh, that shade is very nice. It doesn't look patchy either, and it just really darkened up the crease. This is a P.Louise eyeshadow tutorial, so we can't be doing anything natural here. Obviously, these palettes were not really made for beginners. They were made like for those that like to be creative with their makeup. It is sticking a little bit to the inner corner over here, but it's nothing dramatic, and they both blended into each other quite nicely. Next I'm going to go in with this blue here, which does look quite similar to the other 2 that I used already, and this one is called Yummy, and I'm going to use this one to brighten up the look a little bit and just to blend out those 2 shadows that we had down in the crease. And I'm going to take it quite high up here. I want it to be pretty blown out. To be honest, I'm not seeing much of a difference in the shades. Like, you can't really determine where each shade is, but they are blending really nicely together, and I feel like that just added a tiny bit of brightness. It's more of a brighter more vibrant blue. And then next we're going to go in with the pastel blue shade. It just looks so bright and so beautiful. This is my favorite palette out of the four because I just love pastel colors. And this one is called Flavor. I think I'm actually just gonna use this to blend out the edges a little bit. Whoa, that is so bright. I want the eyeshadow to go all the way up to the brow bone. And that actually is blending it out really nicely and just adding a little bit of lightness up there because it was looking a little bit dark. I think this sandwich technique is actually working. It's making it very easy to blend out the eyeshadows and having all of those really similar shades but with different like kind of depths and darkness. It is pretty easy to use because you kind of just know which shades to use to blend everything out. So far, every shade has been really easy to work with. Next, I'm gonna go into my crisp packet, which is the cutest thing ever. This is called the Crisp Finish in the flavor Extra Spicy. And I was so upset when I opened this packet up because I want to keep it forever and ever. So in here, you get this little P.Louise base and a flat brush. And this brush looks so nice. It feels so soft and it feels like such good quality. So as I said, this is the shade Extra Spicy and it's a baby pink P.Louise base. So I think I'm gonna combine a little bit of blue and pink, and I don't really know how good this color combo is gonna look, but you know, I'm just trying new things here. That's it there on my hand. It has a very thick paint-like formula. It's a very, very, very light baby pink. It almost looks white. I'm taking this brush, and this one is actually the number 7072, and it's called What a Treat My Base Brush Is. I think that's the name of it. You know, P.Louise is always so extra. Before I do that, I'm actually taking my Micellar Water by Garnier on a cotton bud. And every time I cut my crease, I like to do this first because it just makes it so much easier. And I'm just going to use this to remove the shadow on the lid in the shape that I want my cut crease to go in. That's the basic kind of shape that I want. Now dipping into that P.Louise base, I'm just putting this on the lid where I just removed all that excess shadow. Oh, that's so full coverage and very, very creamy. And also this brush is making it very easy to get a clean, sharp line. And you hardly need any. I've got a lot here on my hand, but to be honest, I took a bit too much. I would give that a 10 out of 10. It was just so opaque, so creamy, and the brush just made it so easy to apply and kind of just smooth out, and it doesn't look like it's creasing yet. And usually if I put a base down, it creases straight away because I have pretty wrinkly and hooded eyes. If I didn't have hooded eyes, this line out here would be so much easier to do because I have this like kink here and that's kind of annoying me. I actually quite like the shade of this. I wish that the palette came with a pastel pink so I could put it on the top of this, but I think I'm just gonna go in with this pink one, which is from the second palette, and this one is called Snack, and it looks super, super bright in person. The camera is not picking up how bright it is, but it's so beautiful. I'm gonna take this on a little flat brush and pack this onto the outer portion of where I cut the crease. The eyeshadow is packing on pretty nicely on top of that base. Very matte, but it looks very pretty. This is so pigmented and it is quite buildable. When you first put it on, it doesn't have an intense amount of pigment, but the more you pack it on, the brighter and more opaque it becomes. And I think that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? I don't even know what I'm doing at this point, but you know, this is where the look is going. I really want to try one of these pastel shades, so I think I'm going to take this purple one here, which is called Real Deal. This is quite similar to the base color, so it isn't showing up very intense on the eyes, but it's very pretty. I think if I used it alone, you would be able to see it a lot more. Again, this one is very opaque, very matte. The more you build it up, the more intense and pigmented it becomes. I think I want to leave that inner portion and not put any shadow on top because I just love how bright it is in the inner portion. Also, I want to point out that I got minimal fallout. I was expecting a lot of fallout with that blue shade, but literally I have the tiniest amount of fallout down here, but nothing dramatic and nothing that I can't just wipe away. But so far, all of those shades work so nicely, and I'm actually obsessed with that base. I'm actually really happy because I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. On this side, I assume that I should probably follow the same shape. I would like to do a halo eye or something like that, but I think it would just look too crazy in the end. So I'm gonna follow this same shape but using different shades. I think I'm gonna go for something more on the orangey side. So we're gonna start start with this shade Smoky Smoking, which is a dark orange. This is gonna go all the way along the crease, just like what we did with the other one. This is coming out of more of a corally peachy color. It's so pretty. These eyeshadows, the more that I'm using them, the more that I'm realizing that they do have a very buildable formula, which is quite nice because sometimes you can go in with too much at first and it becomes really, really difficult to blend out. Please ignore how these are not looking good together at all. This color combo is not the best. To blend that out, I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Buttered Up. This is from the second palette and it's a lot lighter than the first orange that we put down. Yeah, it's leaning more yellow. That orange peachy shade is so pigmented and so matte and very, very beautiful, especially for summer. The only annoying thing is that I have to keep going back and opening the other palette and closing the other one, trying to be really careful to not let them all fall on the floor. But yeah, if it was all in one palette, it would be a lot easier, but obviously that's not the point. And then we're going to go in with the pastel yellow. This one is called Rich. I do have to say that the pastels make it so easy to blend these eyeshadows out. I never thought about doing that, like going in with a super light shade to blend everything together, but it really does work so nicely. I just cleaned up the excess eyeshadow that I had on the lid. Now I'm just taking the light pink base and just cutting the crease again. I have noticed if you put too much of the base on, it can start to crease a little bit, but if you go in with a really thin layer, it's so full coverage anyway that you only need the tiniest amount. But if you go in with that thin layer, then it does not crease at all. So we've got that shape and I think they are more or less even. I am not the queen of even cut creases, so don't come for me, okay? And I don't know why, but I really want to try the green. Again, I'm sorry for this color combo, but I'm gonna try this one here. It's called Eat Me and it looks like a super bright forest green. I'm using a flat brush to pack it on because obviously I want the maximum pigmentation. Again, on first application, it isn't super pigmented, but the more you build it up, the more pigmented and bright it becomes. Never used eyeshadows with this kind of formula before, but I really like it because they are so easy to use and it's really difficult to go overboard. I think that looks pretty cool if I do say so myself, although I would have liked a bit of a darker warm tone shade just to darken up that crease a little bit, but I feel like it looks very soft in the crease. Then obviously going for a pastel, we're taking the pastel green, which is called Taste Me. I don't know if you can see this shade very well on camera. It's quite light. I think next I need to do an all pastel look because I am super impressed with how these pastels are working so far. Because I know that pastel eyeshadows can be quite difficult to work with. But I think that looks really pretty. And for some reason, the eyeshadow base on this side looks so much more pink than this one over here. This one looks much whiter. Maybe I put more on, or I don't know what happened. Maybe it oxidized, who knows? But yeah, it is kind of breaking up a tiny bit, so I think it is necessary to go in with something on top. So I'm just going over where I left it blank with the pastel purple. And then I guess I'm gonna take the pastel green all the way in. And the shadows are very opaque, that they are covering up the pinkness of this base. I want to give you a close-up of the eyes and I want you to see just how pigmented the shadows are and how they are not patchy at all. I'm pretty impressed. That's how much I still have left on my hand. So what I'm going to do now is do my base off camera and everything, and then I'll come back and we just need to finish off the lower lash line, and then we need to try out her new brow products too. So I'll be back in just a second. Right, now that we've got our base on, it's time to move on to the lower lash line. And on this side, I think I'm gonna start with the orange shade, which is Smoking. And I'm taking that on a pencil brush and I'm just going to run that on the outer corner of the lower lash line just to match up the outer portion up there. So it's like continuous blend kind of thing. And then on this side, I'm going to take this middle blue shade, which is called Indulge, also on a pencil brush. And then I think I'm just going to follow the color story. So on this one, I'm going to go in with the green shade Eat Me, and I'm going to put that on the middle portion of this side. And on the middle portion of this side, I'm going to take the pink, which is called Snack. Then taking the pastel palette, and on the inner portion of this one, I'm taking the green, which is called Taste Me. And then on this side, taking the pastel purple, which is called Real Deal. I am obsessed with this pastel purple. It is so beautiful. And the only thing that is missing now is a bit of shimmer. So I'm going to take this shimmer palette. And I don't know what to do. I want to put a shimmer on the inner corner of each eye. So I think on this one, I'm going to take the green, which is called Nibble Me. It's such a beautiful, shimmery, like forest green. And this is where I could ruin everything because it is pretty dark. Oh, it's so pigmented though. Hopefully you can see that there. It does have a little bit of fallout, but it's so pretty and so pigmented. And on this side, I guess I'm gonna have to go in with the pink. Again, I wish that these were a tiny bit lighter or we had some kind of highlighting shade. But yeah, I'm gonna take this pink, which is called Hungry AF. Looks like a very hot pink. Oh yes. They are almost glitters. They are almost like pressed glitters, but very soft and not chunky at all. Wow, that looks a little bit crazy. I'm just going in with a clean brush. This doesn't have any extra product on it, and I'm just gonna try and soften the edges because yeah, it looks a little bit harsh up in here. Wow, okay, I definitely need to do another look where I use the shimmers on the lid because they are so beautiful. I think it's time to add a little bit of black liner. I'm going to take the MAC gel liner in the shade Black Track, and I'm just going to line the upper lash line. You know what, to spice things up a little bit, I'm going to take these two Neon Shockwave eyeliners. These are by LA Girl. So this one is going to be for this eye, and this one is called Fresh. And the yellow one obviously on this side, and this is called Screaming. I also just quickly applied my mascara and falsies. My falsies are by Doll Beauty. They are the Doll Lash in Chloe Elizabeth, and they are so cute. So the last thing we have to try today from this collection is the Hazelnut Latte Brow Duo. I'm definitely keeping this cup. It is so cute. Look at the back here. You've got this long message from P.Louise. In here you get a brow pencil and a brow gel, as I said, in the shade Hazelnut Latte, which is the lightest shade. I believe there are 3 shades to choose from. And yesterday I did actually dye my eyebrows. That's why they are looking pretty dark already. So I don't know if this is going to be dark enough, but we are just going to try it out anyway, just to see like the formula and everything. May your coffee be as strong as your brow game. I think that's so cute. So the brow pencil is one of those dual-ended ones. You've got a spoolie up here, and then you've got a twisty up brow pencil. Let's see how much product we get in here. Okay, looks like we get quite a lot of product. The shade does actually look pretty dark, even though it was the lightest one. So hopefully this is gonna work. And it's very fine, which is great for drawing in those little brow strokes. First, I'm just going to brush my eyebrows upwards. The spoolie is very soft. I like actually how small and thin it is because I feel like you can really get up into every single eyebrow hair. I am not the best at eyebrows. First, I like to get the kind of shape at the bottom here. So I like to draw a straight line just across. And then I'm gonna start drawing upwards as if I was drawing in little brow hairs. Color is nice. It is quite warm. I think this would be great for people with blonde hair. I like how it's not too creamy. It's quite stiff, which is nice because if it's too creamy, you can go overboard very quickly. So I think that came out pretty cool. I obviously didn't have to fill them in that much because I did dye my eyebrows, and that kind of does the job for me. But that is the before and the after. Just you can see up in here, it's quite sparse, whereas this one looks a lot fuller. I think that works pretty well. I quite like how my brows are looking. They look quite fluffy. And then in the little set, we have the eyebrow gel as well. It comes in a similar packaging to the P.Louise base. And then you've got this brush here, which is quite big. So I'm kind of scared to make a mess. I'm gonna try and get all the excess product off of it. I really like the Benefit Gimme Brow just because the brush is so small and it makes it really easy to apply and get up into all of those brow hairs. But it's nice because it's not super liquidy, so it's not going everywhere. Oh, that made actually a really big difference. My eyebrows look a lot hairier. Oh, I really like that actually. That is really nice. I would recommend that. I've only used it once, but I can tell that I already really love it. And guys, that is the finished look. So I'm really happy with this collection. I really love the eyeshadow formula. It's not like anything I've ever tried before. The shades are very pigmented, easy to blend. And at first when I opened it up and swatched it, I didn't like the color story. I was like, this is too repetitive. But that sandwich technique works so well. It makes the eyeshadows just so easy to blend. Having all of those similar shades with different tones makes it so easy to work with. Obviously this color story is not going to be for everyone. It's not an everyday neutral kind of palette that everyone would want in their collection, but it's something super fun. The packaging is beautiful and it's more of a collector's item. I love how the shades were very buildable, and the more that you built them up, the more pigmented they became. And the shimmers, I really need to play with them more, because just putting them in the inner corner, I could just already tell how amazing and pigmented and beautiful they were. I love the base. I think it made the eyeshadows just show up so pigmented on top of it. It was very easy to use, very creamy. The brush as well worked really well with the base together to cut the crease. I love the brow gel. I just think it just brought my eyebrows back to life. So overall, I'm super impressed with this whole collection. Here is the blue, pink and purple side. I really also love that Neon Shockwave liner by Elegel in the waterline. I think it just gives it that pop that it needed. These lashes as well are super pretty. And then moving on to this one. The shape is not something I'd usually go for, something a bit different than usual, but I think it turned out quite cool. And I think that this color combo would be perfect for summer. So I would give this a big thumbs up. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope you learned something new. If you were wondering what the new P.Louise makeup was like, then I hope that you got what you needed from this video. And if you haven't picked it up already, I would definitely recommend it if you're thinking of picking it up. Anyway, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below. Also ring the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye.